Okay, this is a video on program 18, converting grams, moles, and formula units for ionic compounds. So you should know how to do three things. Number one, write a chemical formula. We're going to take this chemical formula and find the molar, number two, find the molar mass of that. And then number three, do the appropriate conversion. So on this first one, the answer is going to be 1040. I'm going to show you how to get there. We have 7.8 moles of aluminum chloride. Aluminum chloride aluminum's a +3, so we need AlCl3 for the formula. To find the molar mass, we add the mass of aluminum, which is 26.98, plus 3 times the mass of chlorine, which is 35.45. Remember that ions are basically massless. The change in the mass is basically zero. Electrons are 1/2000th of mass of a proton, so the mass of the ion chloride is the same as the mass of chlorine. When you add that up, you get 133.33 grams per mole. Well, if we have 7.8 moles, we're going to have 7.8 times that much. So the conversion factor is 7.8 moles times 133.33 grams per 1 mole. The moles cancel. When you multiply and round, you get 1039.97, which looks suspiciously like 1040 grams. That's 1.04 times 10 to the third grams. That's 3 sig figs. And remember, if I do 1040 point, that's 4 sig figs. So I'm just going to use 1040, because on the program, when you type in 3 sig figs, it's going to be fine. Okay, the next problem is going to be finding moles. So we have 9.68 grams of lithium nitrite. This time, we have a polyatomic ion. And you should remember those two. Nitrite is a -1, lithium is a +1, so the formula is LiNO2. So find the mass of lithium, and then N, and then two O's. For the future, I'm just going to add up N and two O's, and that's going to be 14 plus 2 times 16 is 32 for 46. That's 46 grams. Lithium is 6.94, so it's going to be 52.94 grams per mole. And you can see that my answer is going to be 0.183, because 9.68 grams is not a full mole, it's a fraction of a mole. So my conversion is 9.68 grams, 1 mole over 52.94 grams. And if you round, you will get 0.1. I'm sorry. Yes, 0.183 moles. Excuse me. So let me save this for a moment. Okay, this next problem is finding formula units. And the initials for formula units is a very intriguing abbreviation. What a formula unit is, it's the smallest piece of an ionic compound. So there are 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd formula units in a mole. Just like there's in carbon, there's 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of carbon in 1 mole, which is 12 grams of carbon. But for a compound, the molar mass is the formula mass. So let's do that in a moment. Equals 1 mole. That'll be my conversion. So ammonium nitrate, NH4NO3, and ammonium is a +1, nitrate's a -1. So when I add ammonium, 14 plus 4 is 18, and then nitrate is 14 plus 48 is 62, for a total of 80 grams per mole. So 9.58 grams. The molar mass is 80. And I could put 1 mole up here and then do a conversion of 1 mole, which is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd formula units. And what I could do is cancel these moles and just do a single conversion, depending on, this is Mr. Hood, depending on your teacher. I'm going to show my students to do it this single step, but a one-stepper instead of a two-stepper. But multiplying this times this, dividing by this, you should get 7.21 times 10 to the 22. And a lot of people just put 7.21 and you're done. Don't forget the E22 on their calculator. Formula units. Okay, so I've worked 3 with you. Now we're going to work some. Just the ones I picked didn't have any special polyatomic ions and challenges of writing these compounds. So this one's going to be find the mass of 8.75 moles of calcium chlorate. And I know the mass is right here. You're like, well, how do I get that? We're going to write calcium chlorate. Calcium is a +2. Chlorate is a -1. So I'm going to bring down this 2. Ca parentheses ClO3 which means calcium is a mass of 40.08, and chlorine, which is 35.45 plus 3 times 16, is going to be 83.45. So 3 times that plus that is going to be 206.98 grams per mole. And what that's going to be, if I have 8.75 moles, my conversion will be 8.75 moles times 206.98 grams per mole, which when you multiply, rounds to 1811 grams. 1.81 times 10 to the third grams. Okay, let me stop there. Okay, now you will see that I marked out the answer. So this time you're going to, I'm going to pause this. You're going to write down the formula. Pause. Beep, beep, beep. Okay, here's the formula for potassium phosphate. K3PO4, because potassium's a +1 and phosphate's a -3. So we're going to take 3 times potassium, 39.10, plus phosphate, which is 30.97 for P, plus 4 times 16, for a total of 94.97. And if I ever see phosphate again, I've already got the molar mass for it. So 3 times this plus this is 212.27. Some of you know that 212. It's a special saying. Okay, so 6.02 grams of potassium. To go to moles, we want to put 1 mole over 212.27. And when you divide, that's less than a mole, 0.0. How far do you go? Let's give 3 non-zero digits, 3 significant figures. So 0.284 moles is the right answer. Very good. Okay. Now, do the same thing. Pause, beep, 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 and write the formula for iron 2 nitrite. This Roman numeral means iron is a +2 and nitrite is a -1. So when we write our formula, we're going to cross down the charge, NO2, 2. And I believe we found nitrite before. It was 46. So the molar mass is 55.85 grams for iron, plus 2 times 46, for a total of 147.85 grams per mole. So when we want to find formula units, 8.86 grams, 1 mole is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd formula units, divided by 147.85 grams. And I'm going to cancel the grams. So 8 times this divided by this will be 3.61 times 10 to the 22 formula units. Okay, this time I'm going to do a couple of examples, 2 examples with the stock system using the Roman numerals. So we've done a couple of them. These are just more practice. So pause this video. Beep, beep, beep. For iron 2 chloride, it's FeCl2. When you add up Iron plus 2 times 3, 35.45, you get 126.75 grams per mole. The conversion is 7.89 grams. You should know these conversions, but people ask me, how do you know it goes on top? How do you know it goes on bottom? Well, I want the number of moles that goes on top. What you had, we want to cancel. So I want to cancel the grams. So the 126.75 goes on bottom. Think of it this way. If you have 126.75 grams in a mole, if you have less than a mole, you have less than 126.75 grams. So you got to divide to get a number smaller than 1. 7.89 divided by this will be 0.0622 moles. And then do the same thing. Pause this one. Beep, beep, beep. Iron 3 sulfate. Iron is a plus 3, sulfate's a minus 2. Fe2 SO4 3. And 2 times iron plus 3 times sulfate will give you 399.91 grams per mole. Given 8.37 grams, I want to convert to formula units, 6.02 10 to the 23rd, and divide by the 399.91 grams, which will be 1.26 times 10 to the 22 formula units. We've worked problems with grams, moles, and formula units, some with regular ionic, some with Roman numerals, some with polyatomic ions. So we've done a whole complete system. And now, take this. If you're in school with me, we're going to do some more practice problems. If you're at home, what you're going to do is do these independent practice problems. And you can't do the programs because you're at home, but you can do them at home. You're going to write these down. So pause this. Beep, beep, beep. Here's the first 3 problems, and here's the last 2 problems. So you're going to work those and email me, take a picture or email me your results. All right, good luck. Thanks.